Yeah, so I usually just start probably like Sunday night. I don't really trade on Sundays unless like something look crazy, but other than that, not really. And I'm looking at all I'm gonna do is just go on my weekly. I only use like a couple time frames, honestly, and the 3 minutes is just kind of there, just in case the 1 minute don't look too good. But other than that, like using these weekly daily 4, 5, and 1, and I'm just kind of mapping out POIs for the week. So the way I got this actual sell POI was just taking this wick. This wick obviously swept this candle. It's high, you can't really tell, but if you look at it close, oops. Yeah, we swept the candle high right there. So we swept this candle's high, pushed down. So on the lower time frame, like a daily or even a 4 hour, that's a strong level. So just marking these out, like what I do is I'll just go in and mark out all the levels that I know or think price could possibly go back to. Overall on the weekly, we still gotta mitigate these wicks regardless. So we gotta fill this internal range liquidity, which would be here. So long term, like we still, bearish overall. Same thing on the daily. I'm just kind of looking at levels, trying to refine a little bit, not too much, honestly. And again, you can kind of see that sweep of these candles. We got to push up consolidation and swipe consolidation. We broke this demand level right here. I don't really do break a structure. I do like break a demand. So, because demand, if you see if price created a new high or low, then it breaks supply or demand, then that's a strong level that broke that. So when price return there, we'll look to sell from it. Let me see. So yeah, 4 hours, same thing. On the 4 hour, I just I'm looking for sells really, but not technically. Like when I'll explain that in a second. So long term, like again, I sent this on the beginning of the week. We got we got to push up here. This is my markup. Well, we got to push up here. So we got to push. Let me do this for you. We got this. Um, I would say this, and then our high right here. So if we're looking at it like that, this is our last demand level, created this high, swept this high, tapped into a higher time frame POI, and then we break this demand level, right? This demand level will get broken. This one holds. The second one didn't necessarily break, but this level did show some type of it definitely shows some type of intention as far as supply going back in control to continue the order flow, continue to pro-trend order flow. So we got this consolidation, we push down, price comes back, same thing, we swept up here. So this is a strong level again. When price come here, we look to sell. So then again, I just kind of mark out levels that I think, but on the 15-minute, it's the contrary, like it's completely and totally different. And what I do, because I'm an intraday trader, because I'm an intraday trader, I'm on a 15-minute intraday. I'll use my 4 hour BOIs at the beginning of the week. Most of the time, I'll just stare at the 4 hour before I start trading. But honestly, like use that 4 hour and then head to your 15. I know a lot of y'all working with Cam, like he'll kind of explain that because he used a lot of different time frames. I'm a whole different. We trade the same model, but do it a lot differently. But in simplest terms, like I just try to keep it as simple because when you have a lot of time frames that you're using, you start searching for shit that's not there. And that's how you lose money, man. Like really though, you become undisciplined. And I've dealt with that, like where I would be on the 5 and then I don't see it on the 5, go to the 20, like some random shit. Like now I just trade trade these same time frames. That way it's like every time you enter or look into the market, you look for the exact same thing every single time. Like nothing is gonna change. When you start going at the 8 minute, 12 minute, all that other shit, like you'll start to see stuff that you never seen before because the candles form a little bit different. I know how the 15 minutes supposed to look. I know how it's gonna look. I know how it move, it's chopped with time. I know Mike in here. We were just talking about like certain sessions. Like you. I mean, like I said, like if something is valid, it's valid. I'll take it too. But I know like over time too, like you'll get tired of staying in the market all day. And it depends on your schedule, of course. With me, like I trade like New York now. I used to trade London, so I'll do like 8 to like 12 max. Not even that. Sometimes just like 8 to 10:30 because of volume. But the reason I do that is because I know at certain times price is going to do certain things. I can if news is coming out 8:30 or news coming out at 10 o'clock, I know I could catch something before that or after that, whatever. But as far as this trade today, again, we went from the weekly to the all the way to the 15 minute. Most of the time I'm looking for my model or anything like that, I'm looking for it on the 15-minute and nothing less. Sometimes the 5-minute depends. And in this case, when I woke up this morning, I actually did go to the 5. And I seen our model. And again, our model is as simple as we're looking for buys, is here, sweep, push, inducement. Sometimes where we just catch that entry right there. So we'll get our sweep. Oops, my fault. We'll get our sweep entry, and then we'll get our, again, no breaks of structure check. Like we want to see like a strong supply or demand level get broke. So in this case, this supply level in this demand zone. No, actually, let me start over here. So we got this. This would be our entry right here at for our model. I mean, we protect it on the lows. That's what we're looking for all the time. But before we look for that, we got to validate it. We got to validate the POI. So that what I do with the model, what I'm up with the model, usually I just pick a POI. But sometimes you come to market, can't find a POI, or you got something like this where it's just Asia liquidity. This is what this indicator is. It's just like Asia. So when the Asia range is happening, this is like Asia. So Asia started here and it ended up here. And usually Asia gets manipulated, like the banks manipulate the fuck out of it. So they either take the lows, push to the highs, take the highs, push to the lows. So you can use it just to have that, or sometimes they come into equilibrium, tap into equilibrium and start to push back up, creating more liquidity just to take it out. So that's why that's there. But basically when I woke up, prices around these areas here actually chopping. So just to validate this POI, we got this here. We got this sweep right here. And then we got this break of supply right here, which is like this tight consolidated zone. We broke that. And what happened was, if we look closer into here, this is why I like this zone, because it didn't just blow through it. But what it did was price attempted to come here. So this candle came here into this level. And immediately that next 5-minute candle started to push down, tapped into something into that equilibrium level, that consolidation, and then pushed all the way up, broke it. So from that level, we know somebody entered the market, and we got technically what this sweep does and what this sweep tells me, not because I don't necessarily only trade the sweep. I trade this because it's a protected, it should be a protected low at that point. You feel me? Especially when you get one of these, wicked probably super slightly, and then we push up. So what that's telling me is no matter when I take this trade, it's protected. But when I came to the market, naturally I would have looked for my entry here, which I would have probably got taken off because we got to push down here. But honestly, I would have went on a 1 minute. I would have went on a 1 minute looking for it after this, which I wouldn't have got. So I would have kept waiting. But what this showed me too was this is being patient. I came to the market and I got this model over here inside the POI. So the same shit. So we got our sweep again, and then we got to push. We break that level of supply. This is a strong level of supply because it took out this level. This level started to make a little push. It's a demand level. We take it out and then we push up immediately, right? And we sweep this candle's low right here. So that's why I took this entry. So let's see. Well, tag you in. Now what I did here now, one thing, like this gonna be complex, but the market only do 3 things. And I'll show you real quick. The market either gonna chop, right? It's either gonna chop or it's gonna push and then retrace and then go, or it's gonna push and then completely reverse, right? So we got consolidation, retracement, or reversals. So at this level, what we get was consolidation, and then we started to push out of it. Now, to simplify this, when price is consolidating, the only thing it can do out of that is expand, right? That's the only thing it can do. It can't do nothing else. So only thing it can do, price can expand out of consolidation. It does nothing else. When price retrace, it can reverse or it can push the opposite back in the actual direction. So from this level here, the reason I say that is because from this level here, what we got was consolidation. We got a little sweep action, but then we got an expansion to the upside. You know what I mean? So when price does retrace, when price consolidate and expands, it likes to come back into the equilibrium. So you can see price consolidated, we expanded, it retraced, and it come back to that equilibrium point, and then they want to push out again. When price expands and retraces, sometimes when it's going to mitigate something, it will tag in to like an inefficiency. So that's why I put this here at this range of demand area right here where this start. But this is the sell to buy range. So that's why I took my entry there. Some people would have came down here. I think you would have missed it if you did that. Yeah, you would have missed it if you did that. So I just put it right at the inefficiency here. I don't take entries off of inefficiency unless it's at with my model. You know what I mean? Unless it's an order block here or something. Other than that, I'll take it with the model if it's nice and close. This one wasn't that far away where I knew I would probably get tagged in. So you get tagged in. Same shit. You know, we push up. Now again, I was mentioning this morning. We got these supply zones right here. It's another thing to pay attention to. We got these supply zones. Got this supply zone, right? Now I've seen this shit just too many times, which is why I know. But really, when you got these supply zones took out nothing. All they did was push down into this demand, do some bullshit, and then we got a reaction out of it, right? So when price does come here, know that you can mark them off. Know that you can take partials here. Know that it could blow through that, or know that you will probably get a strong pullback, but you can't get scared of it. I used to always just get out because I knew I was gonna get a pullback and I couldn't sit through it. But you'll get that pullback, but just know that just be patient and you know, it should have worked out. Now, that's how I got this entry. So again, we got our sweep, we got our push, come back into this level, you can wait again, be patient with it. We get our sweep, our push, enter. That's like super, super patient, super conservative. And you get a nice entry and you just get the full move. You know what I mean? You get the full move because you could have entered here, risk entry, but had you stopped down here. And they would have, you know, I probably would have took the 50% of this level, you know, had a nice stop. And, you know, that was just as fine target the highs. Again, we targeting these highs because we expect price to push up and take out this high. These levels didn't take out any demand over here. But instead of doing that, I wanted to be conservative because, again, pro trend, long-term pro trend is bearish. So this at any given point, this could come here and this level, the banks decide that they just want to push price down. So you just got to kind of be cognizant of that kind of stuff. Now, what I do for re-entries, instead of marking out POIs, I'll go to the one because price is already in my direction. I'll just go to the one. And what I'll do is just kind of wait for something to happen. And what I'm waiting for to happen is this, you know, price does the same thing. We hear, oh no, that's not it. My fault. I'll wait for the same thing we hear. We push down, we sweep, we come back. Now, again, what did I say? The reason why we enter off this model is because price it gives us a sweep, but it's also a protected. It's supposed to be a protected low. So if this is our, and it just broke supply or demand, vice versa. But the reason we take this is because this low is protected. So even if I take an entry up here, you know, which is you know, it's bad. You still can put it below this low and still kind of be solid. You like, all right, I can deal with that. So when price is going in my direction, so on the 5 minute, we pushing in my direction. We good. I'm chilling because again, I got the reaction I wanted. At this point, we super bullish. New York session is starting. This is an early entry for me. I usually take entries around 8, but it was valid. Again, like I said, Mike, you know, he takes shit that's valid, like he said, and that's, you know, I would want you to. It depends. Now for me, it depends on like Asia, but this is valid. Like this is like early New York dead zone kind of stuff. It's like, all right, we'll probably get some volume, probably won't. So I took
What session have you been trading lately?
New York.
You are, oh, you have?
Yeah, I haven't even touched London, bro. I don't be
So you haven't been trading EU or London?
bro. I don't even trade you.
Yeah, EU be fucking
I should be choppy.
choppy as fuck, bro. On the weekly too.
Yeah, I was
Daily, all that.
I had to get rid of that. Like I think it was like 3 weeks because you remember I was like all July I was like busy, so I was trading GU and I was just going.
Yeah, I remember I seen you and Alex both trading GU, and I was
Yeah,
like, damn, like EU must not be giving.
not at all. But since price is bullish, like at this point, it's going in our direction. Now we can look for reentry. So honestly, back before I would be on a 1 and a 3 trying to like, oh, like price will come here probably. Like, nah, don't do that. All you gotta really do is just wait for the model to happen and price either come back or it don't. So what I did with this is I was like, I can get a reentry, then here we go. It's right here. So we get our sweep of these candles. And then we get a push. You feel me? So once we get that push, now hold on, where did this come from? Give me a second. Where is that coming from? Oh yeah, that's not, okay, that could go.
Pulling up the imbalance.
So yeah, so on that 1 minute, if you're looking for re-entries, instead of you trying to pick a POI over here, you just wait for the model again. So we get our sweep, as usual, and then we get our break of supply in these area. Like, because you might not look at this like, oh, this is strong supply. Like, bro, this supply level, this level here just created a new low. You feel me? In this pullback. So when this level get broken, supply is no longer in control. You feel what I'm saying? So once we see that, now we can be like, all right, boom, like I got an inside bar here. I can enter right here. I can explain inside bars another day, yeah. Because that's yeah. But and then again, same target, 24 pips. It's not as much, but money is money. 1 to 3. If you turn 1,000 and 3,000, you'll be happy. 100 to 300.
So nutty, bro. We literally like be seeing this shit the same exact way. Like then I swear to God, I taught this shit literally to at least a couple of them the same way you're teaching it. Should be blowing my mind.
So price didn't come back. So I was like, hey, I set a limit there because that's the type of shit. Like when you want to set limits, you could walk away. Because again, this is protected. Like you could just walk away. If you get taken out, you get taken out. You're still in this trade risk free. I wouldn't break even here. So if price was to come back here to take me out, but you're in profit, you can take partials, however, depends on your psychology, your personality. But we didn't come back here. So at that point, take the limit off. It's like, all right, whatever. But you really could keep this limit on until this supply gets tapped in. But basically, we were just kind of, we waiting. So I thought price is gonna hit my TP and it started melting. But all I did was wait for it. Again, I'm like, oh, maybe we'll get it. Because now we around like 8:30 in New York, the volume about to kick in, right? So I'm like, all right, let's see what we get. And what we do, we get a low. See this, it's precise, but it's a low. We get a push up into this bearish order flow on the 1 minute. We get this push up, push down. As soon as we break that, I'm looking to enter. So we break it. I'm entering on. No, I didn't. I can't actually seen it on the next candle. So I seen it here and I enter right at that candle. And then after that, again, like you could put it now to be real, you could put your stop here as a 6 pip stop or whatever. You put in spread at 6 pips. But I put mine here really tight. And I wasn't scared. I just put it tight because I'm like, I know if price is gonna push up with this volume, is not coming back down. There's nothing down here to mitigate. You feel me? So it shouldn't come back down. And then after that, you get your New York volume, and then you just start pushing up, and you just kind of wait. When you smack, and then you out. And now if I wanted to be greedy and take it to the supply level, which is valid, then it would, with this stop loss would have took me out. With this stop loss, it probably wouldn't have. It probably would have respected it. Yeah. And went and pushed into supply. You feel me? So that's the simplest way for re-entries. That's the simplest way. Go if it's a sell, go on your 1 minute. Like as long as price is having that, because we need to see the lower time frame order flow of bullish order flow. So we got our bullish order flow on the lower time frame, right? We got our, you know what I'm saying? Here. Boom. Because like, let me explain this too. If y'all want like super tight entries, like me, I'm not too picky with it no more. But like I know Cam, like he's like super precise with it, like really good with that. So he'll look at this model, we get our sweep, we get our push, and on this entry, he'll just go to the 1 minute and he'll just kind of look for, he might even like when it get into that level, he'll probably look for it before. And you still get the same shit and you get it again. So we got a sweep, a push up. So basically this level here, when price come back to where he would have entered, it wasn't as tight because usually it just come back here, but it didn't. But again, like on this sweep here on the lower level and push, but that you just couldn't get it. But all in all, I would stay on the 15. Whenever you counter trend, stay on the 15 or the 5. So that's like a rule of mine. So it'd be like, if I want this model, and this counter trend to pro trend order flow, which is bearish at this point, like we said on the 4 hour. And what I mean by pro trend order flow is on pro trend order flow. We bearish as fuck. So it might not mean much in the intraday level, but it actually does. So when we looking for these buys, even though we getting that bullish order flow, we need to be like I said before, price can do what it want. Like it could go wherever. So we get our sweep here, we get our push. All right, we showing some bullish, a lot of bullish intention right here. Like this is real bullish. So when price get back to this level, I'm pretty sure they want to buy from here again. You know what I mean? But in that, be patient again. Sweep, push up, come back, enter. This is a 9.3 pip stop. I really don't use that, but like I said, like with private risk management and just not really caring, like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna make money, you're gonna make money. Now, what I
Yeah, with
also
me, I'm just like I look at it as like a percent to percent. Like
yeah,
if it
exactly.
makes sense, it makes sense.
Like this, like this is legit. I risk 1%. I made 4% on my account. Like if you make four niggas trying to make 5% a week, that's 25. That's 20% a month. If it's 100K account, that's 20,000 a month.
Yeah, bro. The way I break it down to them, I've been
Yeah,
saying like literally all you need is 2%, bro.
right. That's all you need,
And
really.
I show them how easy it is to hit 2%. I'm like, literally, we just hit like one, like we hit like two, 1 to 10s.
And this is like the power, like of the model, because you're catching the move. You're not catching choppy shit. Now when you counter trend, like you might catch something choppy. That's why I don't really preach
Hmm.
counter trend as much. But when it's
And
with
you
the
have to be
order
aware of your
flow,
targets too.
right? When it's with like this is why I took this trade. I'll kind of break down because again, if we just broke a demand level and reacting from this demand level, we just broke this. Once you break a demand level, most of the time you're gonna get a pullback. So and price, understanding that okay, price might be coming here. When I wake up in the morning, like the market, nothing else matters. When I wake up in the morning and I see the market doing this, it's creating bullish order flow. But really, this is the high, this is the low. All this is liquidity. So you just got to be. This is liquidity because these are really the points. This is sub whatever they call substructure and shit. It's
Hmm.
just liquidity. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
what I've been telling them, like basically it's internal range liquidity because
yeah,
it's still in that range
it's
between
still in
that
that
big ass
range.
high.
Yeah. But again, if we trade in a range, all we got to do is say, well, if this is our high, if price don't take out this high, then it's taking out this low, like Cam just
Hmm.
marked out. And that's filling the range. That's why you could catch these fat ass, you know, these fat ass trades because, that's how it goes. You feel me? That's why this is my targeted low. So yeah, I actually put in the chat earlier, after catching these trades, this was the trade I wanted to sell because it's pro trend. So it would have been the most safe, the most it's with pro trend order flow, meaning that if you catch it up here and it's taking out this low, you can chill.
Hmm.
You can chill all day. So when it got here, I was just wait. Again now we're this is bullish order flow and sales is pro trend, but again, even though we still have, even though sales is pro trend, we still have to wait for that 15-minute model or 5-minute model because it tapped into the supply. So even though it's tapped into supply is pro trend, we could go on the 1M, but I'd rather see some type of demand fail and then take that because I don't trust the first high anyways.
Hmm. Literally,
So
bro.
the first high came in here, we could come down here. We could even break this level wicked and just go take it out and then come take this out. So you just got to kind of like build. My rule is like if we got demand and pushing, then these buys are protected. Once it make a protected low, like I showed you on that 1M, that level is going to be protected. When they come into the supply level, none of that matters anymore. It's all out the window. Supply could start busting through that, and that's what it did. It kind of left. So it swept this slightly, that high, and then let's see, it swept that high. My back here.
Are you good? I would count that low as a sweep. That break of demand right there.
Yeah, broke that demand by a wick. So you can see that I marked that out. Broke this demand by a wick. The reason this was the last demand is because this pullback made this high. Feel me? It made that high. So once this break, you like, oh, looking for sales. Now, the reason why I got this level marked out too is because most of the time, as Cam probably showed y'all, like once the second level of demand fell, we fill in the range. And the range
Hmm.
is this from this low.
Everything's getting offered, bro.
It's from the low is all the way up. So
Everything's getting offered at that point.
So this, you could literally just be like, okay, I'm target. If you catch a sell in here somewhere. Now, I usually, like I said, with markups, I don't backtest. I mark up because all this, if I backtest, I could go in here and try to find these. But this, in simplest ways, you could just go back into your session, or even London. If you trade New York, you could go to London too and mark it up. Be like, hey, like I would have took this trade. I could have caught it. That's fire. All right, boom. So now all you do instead of you backtesting trying to figure out where to get in, you can see clearly where you should have got in and why you should have got in there. And what you do when you mark up is you learn how to analyze really quick. So when I woke up at 5:15 or some shit. This happened. All of this happened right when I woke up. Like when I woke up, something was like I checked my charts and I seen it sweep and I'm like, oh, we just need to break that. It happened that fast, and then I got in this like 5 hours later. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to process that kind of stuff quick. So that's why I mark up. because if I didn't take these trades, I would have came back to the church like, why didn't I take this? Or I could have took this. This goes with my plan. Boom. The reason I don't backtest is because I used to backtest a long time ago, but I hated it. I would do like 2 trades and I'll stop. So I wasn't getting better. I would just study concepts. But when I get my chart time, I would go to my previous session and be like, okay, definitely could have entered here. Go on to 1 minute, like, yeah, we should have entered here because it made a strong low. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this entry here that I took under 1 minute, I only took that because I marked it up like 40 times and I missed it. Feel me? So in me seeing it, like I didn't even have to see it today. I was waiting for. I was like, it's going to do this, and then I'm gonna get in, and that's why I got that trade. And the reason I took that trade was to show myself, like, okay, it's hella valid. You should take that. You know what I mean? And then for the sales on the same thing, we get our sweep, we got our break of demand, we get a second break of demand. Now, to be honest with you, I thought it was gonna give us the second model, which will be this right here. I'll show you real quick. Like for a sell side, you'll probably get this. You'll get a push up. My shit lagging. And then you'll use, this is the last demand again. And what we'll do in this demand level is this, we'll chop. And then we'll chop. And then what we'll do is we'll sweep the highs, break it, come back, and then go. But we did not get that. So we got, what we got was our sweep, our break of the, we didn't get a break. So this is our demand level, but it chopped, but we didn't get a sweep of this chop. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to enter there.
Technically, if you look close, look.
Yeah, show me the candle action.
Boom, sweet. Look.
Swept the candles. Yeah, yeah, that's a fact.
That's how they get you, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 5 minute. It swept the candles. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
valid, actually. That would be valid. I like to see like the push up, but that again,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. That's not
one,
like textbook, but
yeah, one thing with the model is like you gotta like remember like this morning I was like, yo, this is a beautiful, this is like beautiful with the model. But sometimes like it'll do this and fly and we gotta wait for it to come all the way back. Sometimes it's just like, sometimes it's like wide, sometimes it's like really, really, really tight and quick. You gotta
sometimes they'll give you one of these. It don't even give you nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It just go and you really can't get in. Like this one did that. It gave us a model and then pushed. I'm like, damn. Well, but then you just kind of be disciplined. You don't chase price because as long as you know that your bias is right, you don't got to chase price. This kind of
exactly.
But the entry cam is facts. Like if none of y'all got that, what he was saying was like we didn't get our sweep as. Let me see if I can find that sweep real quick. Yeah, there we go. So what he was saying was usually we'll get this. We'll get our sweep. We'll get our sweep, which I'll kind of show you as we go. So that's our sweep, which is this. We get our sweep with this high, take out these highs. Boom. So now with that sweep, all we wait for is this demand to break. But what price typically do is it'll chop in that demand zone. What I look for, it'll chop in the demand zone, push up, sweep these highs, and then push down. So to sweep these highs. So now we know that our next protected level, what the fuck? I don't even know how to get out of that. I use nothing over there. I trade the same.
I don't know.
About to panic. I don't know how to get out of that shit. Let me see. Oh yeah, so we had to sweep these highs of these candles, and then this will mitigate something here and break that demand level. So we know our next mitigation level is this. So what Cam was saying was, in a sense, we didn't get it as pretty as this, but what we did do was we got this chop into this demand level. We break it, and this candle here comes and sweeps the 2 candle highs. So we gotta remember that remember again on the 5 minute and the 15 minute is where most of the shit is like really, really valid. You know what I mean? Like it's you can be like, okay, this swept that candle high, it swept this candle high, boom. It pushes down, it breaks this demand. So this demand really don't matter, but it does push down into this level. So this would have technically been the entry right here. Boom, put it here. And this is stuff that we mark up. This is why I'm marking this up, because I will go back and be like, oh, I could have caught this session here. I mean, this sell here during this, because I was watching this on the charts. Like I was watching it. I wanted this. To be honest, I'm tired as a bitch. I missed it. And again, like we said, exactly what Cam is marking these out. None of this, all of this now is internal range liquidity. Every fucking thing is internal range liquidity. So what I would do is target these Asia lows, because we know that got to get snatched. 9 times out of 10, even if it don't get snatched at night, it's gonna get snatched in the morning when you wake up. We push, We breaking all these demand levels. So now we break one demand level, two demand level, three. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come tap into this equilibrium probably. We're gonna get a reaction from there. Yeah, we get a reaction. And then again, now the next we on the 5 minutes. So now again, same thing I said. If you want to re-enter, this is ugly as fuck, but you can take it.
Yeah.
You can definitely take it. You can be like, all right. Sometimes I'll be like this, like I'll explain inducement another day because I use it so frequently. And it helps a lot for more precise entries too. But being lazy, but I would be like, oh yeah, if we get in, we get in. I'll just set a limit right there. If we get in, we get in. We don't get tagged, quiet. And we get tagged, yeah, I want to take that as one. I mean, as agent. But again, the reason why I would be confident in taking a position from here is because we push up again, we create some demand, and then what do? We immediately break it. So technically, it's not supposed to be touched. That's a protected level.
And all we did was chase this imbalance over here, anyways, and fill that real quick.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact. Yep, that's a fact. So you just have to with this, like the reason why we preach them all. I know Cam preach it like is because one, it works, but two, it can. You don't have to go pick out POIs. The only POI you picking out is this one. This
Yeah, bro.
POI.
They always ask me though. They're like, what? How do you time frame scale? I'm like, I don't. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't use the POIs and stuff like because it just takes too long.
Right.
Because they always have the same problem. Like I'm waiting for it to tap the POI and it taps it or I miss it, or like it's just taking too long and I don't want to wait. I'm like, listen, listen, I got you.
Yeah. Facts. That's a fact, bro. Like you POI, it's just it's really like this one I took because it's an order block and swept. So I was like, all right, price should come back up there and tag. But this is still gonna be valid. Promise you, like that's gonna be valid. And it might use all this liquidity if it don't take Asia lows. What it will do is come here pushing me out. And I'll be waiting for that if I wake up and this is still sitting here. But before it end, like again, like Cam was just saying, like we time frame scale, but we don't have to use we don't have to be like, oh, the 10-minute, the 17-minute, the 30-minute, because if you can use the same, like it's all up to you. Like you can use the same 5, 10 you want. Like me, I use the same ones. And I look for the same thing because when you use those same time frames, you're gonna get so used to seeing the same shit over and over and over and over again. So when you see it, you're like, it's valid. You know what I mean? And this again, like just to go real quick, this POY got picked because it swept this liquidity and it was a big push. Now, naturally, what I would usually do is be like, oh, there's an order block in here somewhere. All right, that's fire. Boom. I don't know. Cam see this wick and he love this area, but he also could use it. He'll be like, oh, that wick is a wick rejection. It's a sweep. We get a push out of there and we get the model. So he just built so many confluences
exactly
for that
yeah,
level
one.
that quick.
That's bro, that's so crazy. Literally, it's gonna be in my head, bro.
Yeah, it just happened. And that's why I be like, yo, that's why I know y'all all back testing and stuff, but the reason I'll be preaching Markups because I'm not gonna say it's better. Everybody got their own thing, but
it does feel
simpler.
a lot better.
It's a lot simpler.
Yeah, because like
it allows you to see shit so much. Like
I feel like with back testing, like you cut this off, right? You're like, all right, well, now I don't see this, but you remember this.
Right.
Don't lie to me. You remember that. You remember that. So like I feel like your brain is you feel like you're forming a bias, but like really you're like going off that same bias. So like with me, I like to mark it up like Vine says, or forward test at the very least once I figure it out.
And when you again with the discipline in the session, like something like this trade here, I would have forward tested this if I would have came to the charts and seen it. I would have forward tested it because it's not my session. It's 2 o'clock. I'm like, it's not valid. It's not enough volume going into Asia. But you can forward test and be like, hell, like yo, this is supposed to be a
2 minutes.
You know what I mean? Let's see what happens, and you just go from there, bro. Like, but it's really it's not gonna always be that simple, but it really is that. It's really that simple.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
when you start trading the same shit, like you're not looking for nothing else.
And that's what you should be doing anyways. It doesn't matter if you're trading this model or trading some shit that someone else taught you. You should be trading the same exact setup every time.
You just trade the same thing. Like this setup was the same as this setup. This POI was the same as this setup. This one potential was the same. This one was the second model, which I know y'all probably not too familiar with, but that shit is valid too. And this one here,
I haven't shown them. I've shown them more of like how I use a low time frame. Like that's why I brought them in here to give them more of a different view on the model too, like a more expanded view, because not everyone likes to trade like like small ranges like I do and look for these little tiny ass areas.
Facts. I got if y'all wanna, Cam, you got something to go over, we can hop back on for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's the
No,
only thing I
we
traded
can save
though.
it for next week because I haven't traded anything yet because it's Monday. So,
Right.
or we can save it for later this week, even like Friday or like Thursday, because on Friday people might go out. But
Yeah, facts. That's valid. Well,
yeah,
yeah,
but
man. Yeah, just honestly keep it simple, man. Like try to do those. That's why we got that team in the day markups because
say
it's
put
gonna
in the
help.
chat yes if you want us to keep like doing these. If these you found this helpful today.
Oh, fuck, I'm back.
All right, we got one yes, two yes, three yes. All right, that's enough
Well,
yeses.
we gonna print together, so we gonna.
Yeah, facts. And eventually, like we'll get to a point where like, we don't really want to make this about like signals and all that, but we will like show setups or whatever just to give you an
Right,
idea of like what to look for in the real time
right,
market. But like that is not our goal is education.
right.
That's why this is like free
The
at the moment.
closest thing to signals would be like I did this morning. Like, oh, look at this level, wait for the model, and look to enter. And y'all do that on your own. You feel me? Because again, it's the same shit. We teach it, we show it. Like y'all see it. So I'll be like, yo, this level is so and so. Wait for the model, and when you get it, you look to enter. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all.